Hello, welcome to Collective Gifts. I'm Rachel, and I'm so glad that you are here to join me today. I just wanted to ask you a question to reflect upon. What's holding you back? If you have a gift that you should be using, say maybe you need to develop more time alone with God in prayer, or get back to studying the Word, developing in writing, in singing, whatever it is. You were maybe once consistent, but you kind of fizzled out and something's holding you back. What is it? What is holding you back? I ask you that question because a while back, a relative of mine was asking me about my videos. She asked if we're still making them. And yes, Noelle and I are still making videos. It's just that we stopped being consistent, and you can tell, right? Obviously. And so I was explaining that our microphone broke. And so filming was a little challenging because we have next door neighbors who can be loud, and they also have animals. They have a dog that has this ferocious bark. They also have hens that will do egg songs or just squawk. And so it can be very distracting, and I didn't want that ambient noise on the videos. Well, she told me it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, the noise will just add layers of character to the video. Well, when she told me that, I was because that's the exact same advice I would be giving to someone else who would, share my excuse. And so it really put me back in place here as far as with, yeah, just keep doing it, right? Like, what is holding me back? And so as I dug deeper too, it was maybe a little bit of trying to be a perfectionist. Maybe it's a little bit of that whole like fear, because if it's not going to be perfect, it's, then it's not going to be good for other people to see, and so whatever we're doing, you can recognize that we start where we're at and it'll be a blessing to someone. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this relative then went on to share how she has a friend who is an amazing artist. She can paint these flowers, and she had told her, if you made this into cards or paintings, I would buy them. And this artist replied that, one, she didn't think that it was good enough for other people to buy. Two, she was afraid the colors, schemes wouldn't be to someone else's taste. Maybe they didn't match. And so she was just making all these different excuses to rationalize why it shouldn't be sold. And it was really making me think about how, what's holding you back ultimately? It's yourself. What was holding me back from being consistent with making videos? Me, right? Because I was making all these excuses. And we have to shift from the focus being on ourselves, which will stop us from going forth, and keep our eyes on God, right? When we focus on God, we're not going to look at our inadequacies, our shortcomings. We're going to focus on God, and He's leading us to go forth in whatever it is we're doing. And we can trust that whatever it is, it may not be to our standards, but it is the best possible outcome. It is the best that we can do. And so when we give our best, it will be blessed, right? It will be a blessing to other people. And so with this woman, it was like, okay, well, she would need to really understand her value, right? Understand her worth, her significance. And that really made me reflect on myself too. That, okay, we have these gifts, that they are valuable, they are precious. And, the more that we use it, the better that we get, we develop, we refine. So whether it's the color schemes for this woman, or for me being more polished and eloquent, or more insightful, whatever it is, right? The more I do, the better I get. And that's the same thing for you. The more you practice, you stir up your gift, the better you get, and the greater impact it will be. But we have to start somewhere, and we can't stop. We have to keep going forth. So really ask yourself, what is holding you back? Because this is something that we're going to try to delve into next week, because next week we are starting our 5-day fast for June. And so that's going to be from June 6th to 10th. So I will invite you to come on and join us with this fast. You can fast one thing, whether it's a food or activity. If you want to do more than one thing, hey, you're welcome to do that. The more that we do sacrifice, you do see that it ends up being a blessing to hear from the Lord. And so we'll be posting daily videos to go forth with that theme of getting back on track. We want to get back on track so that we can be able to allow God to use us and to be impactful to wherever He places us. So thank you for joining me. God bless you, and I will see you next week. Shaloha.